Well, hello everybody. I'm Nikki from Ask the Body Kinesiology, and today I'm wanting to share with everybody what you can expect when you come and have a session with me. So I've got my beautiful friend, Bernie, on the table today, and she's graciously offering her time so that I can demonstrate a little bit of it. So I'm going to do a very mini balance so you can sort of get an idea about how it works. I have no idea where we're going to go with it. One of the things that happens when you come and have a session with me is we will ordinarily sit on the couches, which you can't see, they're behind the cameras, and we will talk about what it is that you're wanting to clear in your life. So we're tapping into stress. That's what kinesiology is we tap into the subconscious mind to clear stress that is being held in the body, the mind, the spirit, the emotional body, etc. So I primarily work in emotions and metaphysical kinesiology. So we will always in this room be accessing whatever emotions are being suppressed or have been held in a pattern. So we would ordinarily have already had a chat about what it is for you that you want to clear. So it may be a physical ailment or condition or pain in your body. It may be emotional pain or some sort of stress that's going on for you in your work life, your relationships, what have you, and we gather all of that information. So I've already done that with Bernie and won't be sharing that with you on the camera today. However, we have already worked out what her intention is. So that's the other thing we'll do, is we want to find out what we're going to balance you to. So we've already found out where the stress is and what you want to clear, and then we go, well, what do you want to feel? Let's balance you to that. So we've already worked that out. There's a couple of little things that I'll just share with you. When Bernie first came in, I got her to pick a card out from my card deck, and she pulled the universal chakra, which is really special considering what we're working with today for Bernie. And the universal chakra is one of the chakras that are off the body, just a little bit of background information in case you're wondering, and it's higher perspective stuff. What is also related to the universal chakra is the Akashic records. You don't have to know what that is. Bernie didn't know what it was, but we talked about it, so it makes sense. So I've also tested for her what she needs energetically. We grab various energetic tools that we use during a session. So we haven't even started, but we've got this pianola scroll. And this particular one is just to represent the Akashic records, and that is that what Bernie's working on has already been written in the universe, hence universal chakra. So I'm just going to place that on her body. I may even just find out where I'm going to place it on her body, and we're going to place it right here for now. Might move at some point. So when we're doing kinesiology, we work with muscle testing, muscle reflex testing. For me, I like to work with the brachioradialis muscle, which is a fancy name for the muscle that's in this space. And I'm working with her arm in a bent sort of 45-degree angle. And I just place gradual pressure down. So that's not hard, Bernie, or is it hard? No, you can barely feel it usually. And what I'm looking for is a muscle, an indicator muscle. So the muscle to change, that is unlock wherever there is stress. And that's how I know what we're going in with to clear. So there is never really a plan. I just follow a process, and the entire time I'm tuning into Bernie's body to see what she needs for her healing. As kinesiologists, I don't think we heal at all. We just provide a space for people to access their own healing. So there's nothing I'm doing to you. I'm only working with you. So Bernie, the first thing I want to know is, do I have permission to balance you today? Yes. Okay, so I will test that, and that's a yes. So we can continue. So I'm not going to go into too much. I'll just do a little thing that I do before I start, just to make sure that her brain energy is switched on. And there's a couple of little points that I check, and that's all good. And cool. All right, so I know that Bernie switched on. If there was anything there, they're called pre-checks. I would just go in, and there's a little, it's actually quite intricate, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can do if something was out there. But Bernie's brain energy is completely switched on, and she's ready to go. So I'm going to ask you, Bernie, right now in this moment, to connect to the physical stress that you said was something in your stomach that you're feeling. And what is that specifically? Can you show me what you're feeling?
Like a bloated stomach.
Yeah, okay. And how long's that been going on for?
A week.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a note of that. I mean, I've already got the stomach as a stress, but about a week. And in terms of the bloat, if you had to rate it out of 10, 0 is nothing and 10's get me off the planet, how bloated does it feel right now?
Right now it is probably a 2.
Okay, so it's a little one.
There's been nights this week where I would say there was about a 9 one night.
Wow, yep.
And about a 6 last night.
Right, okay. So it's been quite a conversation. Yep, okay. I'm smiling. I'm not really happy to hear that, but I find it interesting. I find it always interesting when the body is speaking to us with physical symptoms. So we'll drill into that in a moment. All right, what about let's go to the emotional stressor that we talked about and the thing that you've got that I'm not going to share with you because it's really not anyone's business. So when you connect to that and what you're wanting for your life and how you want to, how it's negatively impacting you, right? You know what you want, but then there's this negative emotional attachment to that, or yeah. When you connect to that, what's the emotion that you feel?
Fear.
Okay, how much fear out of 10 would you say?
7.
Okay, that's a big one. Okay, I won't drill too much more into it. We're just going to go with fear. We're going to go with the stomach conversation. And then we've already set an intention. Bernie has already set an intention. So can you just repeat after me? I am relaxed, feeling love.
I am relaxed, feeling love.
Right, and that indicates as a stress. So then what I'm doing here also is a circuit. So I'm creating a circuit of energy to hold the stress. It's kind of like lifting it up and out of Bernie's body. It really is. And I'm going to keep going until we clear it. Okay, so I've got that on board. Now I'm going to not go through all the traditional things that I would ordinarily do during a session because it's really quite involved and it goes very deep and it's also quite personal. So I'm not going to do that. We're just going to do surface level stuff here today. Really just so that I can show you the types of things that we use during a session to balance. But I do want to check one thing, and that is what's testing up for you is that you are taking on someone else's energy, right? So I need to clear that before I clear for you what is your stress. So who do you think, don't say, you think about someone and you tell me yes when you think you know who it is, yeah? Okay, so when you connect to that person, okay, I don't need to know who it is and we don't need to talk about it. Infinite love and gratitude. I'm just going to find a remedy to clear that. Okay, so I've got one here. What's testing up here is a flower essence. And so flower essences, if you haven't used these before, this is really cute. If you haven't used these before, is that they are, you may have heard of the Australian bush flower remedies. This is actually a sky flower remedy, I love the sky flower remedies. It's perfect for the universal chakra because they're more magical in nature. They are, how can I explain it? Sky flowers are, the air plants that you can get. You've seen air plants before? They require very little water. They kind of somehow thrive from the water that is in the air particles, basically. So I think they're amazing. They grow in very strange places, sometimes on rock cliffs and stuff like that. So they're extra magical. This particular one is called pygmy pineapple. Now, I won't find out the details about it. All I know is that you need to have some of these drops on top of your tongue. So we're just going to clear the person's energy that we do this. Sometimes we hook into someone else's essence and energy and we forget about where our boundaries are, basically, and have too much energy flowing to a particular person, and it affects our ability to show up authentically for ourselves. In a nutshell, infinite love and gratitude. So I'm going to do this. Are you okay to have? Yep, you've had these before, so it's okay. I'm just going to do like 1, 2, 3 little drops on top of your tongue. And we can talk about what that is. I'm not really going to go into too much detail about it, but pygmy pineapple, look it up. It's fascinating. Okay, so I'm just going to go like that and test, and so that's fine. Now we've cleared that, and now we've got you back on board. So I'm going to find out which what we're working with here today. It's the same every time, isn't it, Bernie? Okay, and I say that not laughing because that is actually, I can relate. It's me as well. So we're working with Bernie's throat chakra. If you don't know much about throat chakra, it's really just essentially about speaking your truth and asking for what you need. And it's also related to expressing ourselves creatively. And often when this tests up, it's because there's a a block, and so it's underactive. And I'm just doing a couple little things here, and I'm just gonna go and grab something from over here. These are my favorite little remedies. I'm gonna get some glasses. So we're taking fashion to a whole new level. So these are color therapy glasses. What they do is they work with how we see things. They basically change our perspective. I don't need to go into too much detail about that, but what I really want to show you is how when Bernie puts these glasses on, her muscle unlocks and it actually won't lock. We have to find a way to harmonize her to it. When I take the glasses off, it holds. When I put them back on, it unlocks again. So there is a trigger for Bernie looking through the color blue. At the moment, the color blue is associated with the throat chakra. There's a whole bunch of things around color and how they affect us and trigger our senses. So we can, there's various ways that I can harmonize Bernie to these glasses, and I'm not going to share a bunch of those right now, but all I'm going to do is leave them on and we'll do the rest of the balance. And then at the end, we'll take them off. I'll check to make sure that it's holding and that so at the moment she's fine. I'm going to say that it's hard for her to look through this lens without being triggered. So I want to leave that lens on so she can, as we go through the rest of the process, just see life through a different lens. Right? It's very deep and lots to explain, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but yeah, just that for now. So we know that we're working with your throat. How does your throat been lately? Because sometimes you do have stuff going on in your throat, don't you?
Yeah.
Bernie's a singer as well, so interesting. Yeah.
It's been okay, a little tickly.
Yeah.
I feel like some days I think, oh, is this going to turn into a cold or something like that? Yeah. It hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So now I'm going to find, I've got a bunch of remedies. I've got so many remedies. There's remedies everywhere, but I've got some specific ones here for throat chakra. So I'm going to grab this one first, and I'm going to ask Bernie I'm going to actually put it onto, just excuse me. I'm going to get one of these. So I've got these little pads, and I'm going to get you to smell this one, Bernie. So with that hand, if you can just have a smell. What does that smell like to you? Does it remind you of anything? Yeah, there's a bit of citrus. It's actually a blend, but does it remind you of anything?
Nature, like walking through nature.
Beautiful. And what does that feel like to you?
Good.
Yeah. Feels more like love, right? Are you relaxed in
Yes.
nature? Yeah, cool. Awesome. Okay. So I'm not going to let you smell that for too much longer because there's a reason for that. I'm just going to hold off on that. I am going to grab one of these tuning forks. So these are my favorite things as well. So what we're basically doing in a nutshell is allowing Bernie to tune in, like we're tuning her ears into the frequency of feeling relaxed and love around this topic that you don't need to know about, the stress that she's got on. And so, when it gets triggered, she gets triggered by the sound. It's a frequency that is tuned in for the throat chakra. So many layers to this, right? But I'm just smoothing over the surface so you can sort of get an idea. So just by hearing that sound, there was a trigger. We can talk about it. There's a few remedies that I do the processes that I use to harmonize Bernie to that sound, but she's already harmonized to it anyway. Like, it's funny. So now look, it's holding, but you know how it was unlocking before? Yeah. So all we want her to do, I keep bringing it back to her intention, which is I am relaxed, feeling love, is just reminding her to tune back into that, basically. The subconscious mind will override the operating system every time when we get triggered by our senses, every 6 seconds, basically. So that's what we're doing. We're bringing all of these different remedies in. They are sensory in nature. It's seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling. That's why we have all these crazy remedies, right? So that's holding, and so that's all good. Do I need that anymore? No. Do I need that anymore? I can probably relieve you of some of these energetic tools now. Okay, so crystals. Crystals are really fun to use in kinesiology. Let's use this one. Okay, so can you hold on to that one for me and tell me, what does it feel like?
Smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like what you want to feel
Yeah.
in relation to your goal, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's it, smooth. You don't get anything else from it?
There's a few bumps in it.
Yeah. There always will be.
One bump in particular.
Right. There you go. Look at that. Interesting. Embracing the bumps. All right. So the thing about crystals is it's, you know, they're from Mother Earth, right? They're from deep in the earth, and and then the whole process is we bring them up and out, and they shine and they're beautiful. But often what we do is we use them to tap into how we want to feel, right? So I'm always after the emotion that needs clearing. You know, some people might see that and not have a good feeling about it, and that's okay. Well, there's no good or bad feeling, it's just a feeling. So it's bumpy and it's smooth. All right, all of that at the same time. Excellent. So I'm going to just probably leave that there. Is there anything else that I want to do? Sound glasses? No, I think we'll just sort of leave it there. But that's just a little example of some of the remedies that we might be using to clear a stress. Oh, good timing. Is the bell ringing? 3 times. Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just see, I'm going to back out and see if there's anything else. So now this is holding. So I know that you don't need to wear the glasses anymore, so we can, but I will leave them on right to the end because I just want to ask Bernie a question before we take them off. Can you just say for me, I am relaxed.
I am relaxed.
Feeling love.
Feeling love.
Yep. Okay, I'm just going to connect to the fear. Okay, and that was around the stress, right? So now, I know we've only done a really mini balance, but when you tune into the fear right now, what number would you give it out of 10?
3.
Infinite love and gratitude, right? That's a big jump. So that's really cool. We haven't really done much. When you tune into your stomach right now, didn't really do much with the stomach. There's a whole lot of things that I do. Is that still sort of the same, or is that shifted? And honestly, it's fine.
Feels about the same, but it didn't feel that bad today. It's just,
yeah.
It kind of comes and goes.
Yeah. We'll definitely do something else for your stomach before we go. But we'll leave it there for our viewers at home. Thank you so much for watching. One thing I will do though is just get you to say, I am relaxed.
I am relaxed.
Feeling love.
Feeling love.
Yep, okay. When I take the glasses off, I want you to tell me what colour you see, because this actually, you know, usually you'll have had the glasses on for quite some time if you've had glasses on as a remedy, but it really does change the way you see things in the world. Fascinating. So what colour do you see, Bernie, if any, when we take the glasses off?
Orange.
Yeah, and lots of people report seeing orange when the blue comes off. Don't you think that's interesting? That's so crazy, right?
It's really orange.
It's amazing. Right, beautiful, perfect. So you can go about your lovely day feeling relaxed. And anyway, we'll come back to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy the ones that are coming. Thank you so much, Mr. Peadar McBride, for filming today. Thank you, Bernie, for offering your beautiful body on my table, and talk to you soon. Infinite love and gratitude.